makeup tutorial?
I am, actually. I'm doing a haul right now. I'm hauling things.
It's like when you get a bunch of stuff at once and you're, like, oh, let's see what came in the mail today.
Yeah, pretty much.
I bet we're going to do it family style.
Interesting. I'm kind of a little poor at this moment. Do you mind if I invite Jonathan?
That's because you have a haul. Yeah, bring Jonathan.
It's because you have a haul.
You're spending too much money doing these haul videos. You don't got ad revenue yet.
Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. And I don't like that intro. I don't even like introing at all. I hate this. We're just gonna get into it. I don't even want to say hi to you. Just kidding. So gross. Are you serious? What? He said what? What he say? What he say to you? Oh. Alright, let's not even wait. We're just gonna get right into it. So I told myself to go easy and then I didn't. So yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and start with some of the boring stuff. I don't know. I shouldn't consider skincare boring, but I'm not good at it and I don't do it and I should do. Why am I recording? Just stopped. This is open. Oh, the heck? Well, that's a bust. I'm not happy about that. This is broken and it's leaking, so that sucks. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if I did that. I feel like this wasn't like that originally when I was first opening these. Did I do that? I feel like I shouldn't use it now. I'm so sad. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of set it over here and mourn my crappy Sephora algae face mask that I was actually kind of excited to use. That's okay, because this is the one that I really genuinely like, and that's the Dr. Jart Vital Hydro Solution. I got this in a BoxyCharm forever ago, and I was obsessed with it. I felt like it really did hydrate my skin and it made me feel so much more nourished. It's what my skin needs, and I've kind of been going through a lot of weird stuff with my skin, so I thought that this would be super helpful again, so I went ahead and picked it up because I could, and I'm pissed about this. I feel like it's not sanitary to use this. I'm just gonna throw it away. I'm so upset. I'm so upset. We're already off to a bad start. But that's okay, because now we only have one place to go. It's further down. Okay, I'm just gonna grab the biggest thing on the top, which I actually am wearing on my eyes today. I know you can't really see, so we'll go ahead and leave my glasses off so you can tell. But it is the Huda Beauty Nude Palette. So I put it back in the original packaging because it just feels cool doing a haul where you're opening all the unicartons and pulling all the stuff out and getting the little papers and the films and all that. I originally said I wasn't going to buy this because I felt like it wouldn't have a lot of unique place in my collection, but when I sat down to decide how I wanted to spend my discount, I just kept putting this back in my cart. And typically when I find myself trying to talk myself out of something, I find that means that I really want it. So I figured, despite it being very expensive, I mean, I think it's $65, $62, even with 20% off, that's really not cheap, but I still really like it. I really did want to buy it. I did think originally that it was going to be too brown for me, and I'm not sure if you can tell in this lighting. Let me put my glasses back on so I can tell. It still looks kind of brown, but on the eyes it translates so much more pink, and even in real life, in person, this does look a lot more mauve and purple and pink than it does in pictures, which I found to be kind of interesting considering this was a nude palette. I mean, it's literally called the Nude Palette. Oh, it's called the New Nude. The New. Okay, I didn't realize it's called the New Nude Palette. Everyone's been calling it the Nude Palette. I'm so sorry, my mistake. So I guess these are the new nude colors, which is a different interpretation of nude, which I can respect. The only thing in here that I'm not too excited about using are these three shades here. This one right here is just kind of her average shimmer shade, which, I mean, I do like in her Desert Dust palette. She has several of these and they're pretty decent, but it's just not as exciting, and it does look, this is the shade Kinky, by the way, it just does look very similar to some of the shades that she has in the Desert Dusk palette, and I won't get it out and swatch it for you. I feel like that's just a little too much going on right now. And the glitters as well, I'm not necessarily too excited for. I did swatch them in the tutorial I filmed with this look right here, and this looks kind of impressive, but it's kind of the same with the other glitter. I just felt like when I swatched them, ugh, it's just it's so disappointing. You can't even see the top one, and they just seem kind of messy and not really self-adhering, which honestly, the JD, I keep wanting to call him JD Glow. It's not the JD Glow. I feel like the Give Me Glow Cosmetics palette with the glitter in it has honestly spoiled me a little bit because I have been using that non-stop because it literally like goes onto your eye and stays there like without fail, and I just feel like a really incredible pressed glitter shadow. So I just feel like these like do not hold up to that standard, and that glitter is a lot cheaper than this. But I was just like, I don't know, so interested in these shades, particularly these two rows right here, as well as these very like foiled shadows. The shade Crave, I have that in my inner corner today, and I don't know if you can see it. I just feel like it's such an interesting and really beautiful shade, as well as the shade Daydream, which is right under it. These are dry too. I feel like they're just so foiled and so beautiful on their own. So I'm very excited to get to use these. Came back in stock like the very last weekend of the Rouge sale, and they had it in my shade, so I picked it up, and this bottle is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Let's go ahead and look at it compared to our other mega tubes. So this is it compared to that big old Too-Faced one, so not as big, and then the Tarte one, they're I think roughly the same size. They might even, it may be a little bit smaller, I'm not entirely sure, but they're still probably about the same size. This has 0.139 fluid ounces, and this has 0.3381. So this is pretty much all packaging, which I guess I can see now it's a lot thicker, like frosted plastic. But that's okay. I've heard a lot of really good things about this. This is the Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. I went ahead and bought the shade Lace. I'm not going to open it just yet because I do have a couple concealers I want to run through first before I open any new ones, and I realized recently in my concealer declutter that I have a couple that I just haven't opened yet and need to. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on hold, but I really did want to give it a try since I had the discount. So I initially wanted the Hourglass Scattered Light, like foiled eyeshadows that come in those little pots, but they were sold out online, and they were sold out in store in all of them except Foil, I think it was, which wasn't the shade I wanted. I really wanted the pink one, which I think is Aura, which was really pretty. I got to swatch it, and I was like, I can't believe I'm not getting this one. But I went ahead and picked up the Marc Jacobs Sequin Glitter Eyeshadow, Glam Glitter Eyeshadow, and I have it in the shade Flashlight. And when I tested this in store, I was like a little scared because it looked a little more loose than pressed. So this is like the inside of it. It's like a really pretty white color. I've been really into these like glitter topper eyeshadows recently, and this just seemed like a big old pot of it, even though, okay, so it doesn't seem like a lot of product, so I don't know if you can tell, but it's like the bottom part here is like all glass, and then it's just like this little bit right here. It's 3.5 grams of product, so maybe I'm just going crazy, or maybe that's the weight of the container. Okay, so this feels a lot creamier than the one in the Sephora did. Looks really nice. It's very chunky. Like, very chunky. Packaging is very glamorous. Gold chrome top. So again, very chunky. Let's see how it swatches. Oh, she's a chunky little girl. Kind of smooth her out there. Ooh. Oh gosh, I just feel like that got everywhere. That's okay. Yeah. Wow, so that is incredibly reflective. It's a little more of like a clearer base than I initially expected, but I actually don't mind that because I feel like then it's going to go over really well on top of different colored eyeshadows, which was kind of the whole purpose of me getting this, was to kind of pack it on top of like other eyeshadows to kind of intensify them a little bit. So I'm very interested to try this out, and I also think it'll look really nicely in the inner corner and possibly under my brow bone, because I really like to highlight my brow bone with either really stark white mattes or really white glittery sheeny eyeshadows like this. So I'm very interested in this. I couldn't believe I spent, I mean, I don't even know, like 26 bucks on like a little single eyeshadow. If you had asked me, like even I think 6 months ago, if I would ever do that, I would have laughed in your face. And I mean, I did it, and I'm throwing it around. So, okay, I went back and forth on these for a very long time, which ones to get, if I was going to get them at all. And for a while, I really didn't think I was going to. And then I ended up getting 3 of them. So I got 3 of the Huda Beauty Obsessions Gemstone collections. The Obsessions, Gemstone Obsession, I don't know, but I pretty much got the emerald one, the green one, amethyst, which is the purple one, and topaz, which I thought was going to be a lot more brown, but it's definitely way more orange. And I'll go ahead and open it and like show you guys some swatches so you can go ahead and see. I did use this one already, and it turned, honestly, such a beautiful look came out of this. They pop a lot more orange than they look in the pan. Like, they look so brown, but they're really not. They're so much more orange than you expect. It's like, that was not a good swatch. This is like not swatching as well as it did on the eye. See, there you go. I just feel like you can't tell that they are so much more orange than they are in the pan. They are, I promise. The only one I've used, by the way. So let me go ahead and see these other ones. I initially wasn't going to get the amethyst one, which is the purple one here, but my boyfriend and I saw it, and at first I was just kind of like, and then he said that this one was his favorite. And I don't know if I'm just like obsessed with him, but as soon as he said that, I was like, wow, it's so pretty, which was dumb because, I don't know, I initially didn't really like it, but I think these are some super pretty shades. I'm going to go ahead and swatch them on my wrist here. These ones are swatching the best so far. So look at those mattes right there. Can you tell how purple those are? I did also pick up the emerald one. I wasn't going to because I felt like with the Hesina 2 palette, I felt like I probably had enough green eyeshadows, which is also why I didn't pick up the sapphire one because of the same deal. But I still ended up picking this one up because I felt like it had a lot more unique green shades than the Hesina 2 did. For example, this like super, almost kind of like lime chartreuse metallic, as well as this mint shade that's right next to it. I just felt like these were super, super interesting colors that I had never seen before. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch that. I mean, like, look at that. I think that's just such a pretty metallic shade. It's really interesting. I feel like you can't tell on camera, but it almost looks like it has kind of like a bluish base to it, but it does look a lot more green in the pan. I also really like these like tealy colors right here in the middle row. I thought those are really pretty. So I just felt like this had a lot more like uniqueness than I initially expected a green palette to. So I'm very excited to use this one as well. Glad I picked these up. I've heard some people say that these aren't the same quality as the original Obsessions palettes. So far this one did pretty good on my eyes. I just noticed at the day that there wasn't any fallout and that the color didn't fade. So I felt like it did pretty well. So far it did help hold the standard of the original Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes. But I have yet to try these ones, and these are kind of the more colored ones, which is the ones that seem to have the most issues. So I will let you know in a big review video I'm doing with like a bunch of different products, how these end up performing. I buy so many matte products that I, for one, really wanted to try something new and get some products that would make me a little more dewy or kind of give me a different look than what I normally go for in my day-to-day, but also because, well, two, the packaging is gorgeous. Three, though, I really wanted to give these a try. I've tried Hourglass products this past year. I bought some in the VIB sale last year, and I was really like impressed with how well they performed. So I'm just very excited to give them more of a shot because they are a more luxurious brand, and I have found that I genuinely don't trust luxury brands because their pricing I just feel like will never match up to the actual quality of their products. But I have noticed with some of my Hourglass products that they are actually a lot more impressive than I expected them to be. And I really, for the past few years, I have really wanted to give these a try. Like, since they've started coming out, I've been like obsessed with them. Like, oh my gosh, I really want that, but like it's so expensive. And every year I talked myself out of buying it. So I actually did it, and I'm glad that I did it. I've used it a couple of times so far because this was one of the first things I got in the mail, and I have used all of these powders. So it comes with 2 blushes, a bronzer, and then a strobe light powder. So that's like that old formula where they had that trio last year where it's like super highlightery and really shiny. These two, I like this one because I like want it to like brighten like right here, but I don't bring it too close to my under eye because I feel like these powders are just too shimmery and it just doesn't look quite right. But I still think that they're really pretty products. They're really soft, and I just feel like they really like, I don't know how to explain it. They give you such a radiant finish without looking like you just put shimmer products everywhere, if that makes sense. And these blushes are beautiful. I would have thought that this blush right here, which I think is like Luminous Exposure, Euphoric Fusion, I believe. I expected this one to be like totally too dark for me. It really isn't. I think this is such a beautiful powder. As well as the Luminous Flush, I think is what this one is called. And it was just like a beautiful peachy color. And this one is like more of like a deeper kind of purpley toned. Can you see those right there? They're like right there. I think these are just so pretty. They're like really beautiful shimmery blushes. And I don't typically wear those, so it's kind of nice to step out of my comfort zone. This is another thing like I totally should not have bought. And this has some like, what? I should not have bought, but it has some like serious like packaging to it, and that is the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. Filter Finish Protective Primer. I don't know, it's got like such a name to it. So you like open it up and you like pull the thing, or wait, do I open it the other way? I open it the other way. This is upside down. I have to do it the fancy way so you guys can see. This packaging is like luxe as trucks. Pull out this like little drawer. And it comes in this like little, I haven't even opened this yet. It comes in this like little foil packaging. Like, so it comes with like this little disc that you're supposed to like, I don't know, throw around your college dorm. There she is. I feel like I'm like opening a present on Christmas Day. She's like so new, like I don't want to wreck her with my nasty fingerprints. And there she is in all her luxury. Tatcha is another brand that I have just like never cared to like actually try. But this, for some reason, just kept calling my name. And I skipped it during the appreciation sale because I was like, oh, I don't need this, I don't need this. And my boyfriend stopped me and talked me out of it. And I bought it anyway, I just didn't tell him that I bought it. I have just heard so many good things about this little flying saucer that I am so excited to give it a try. I've heard that it's not a lot of actual product. It's 20 grams of product, 0.7 ounces, which, let's go ahead and compare it. Like, for example, my Becca Backlight Priming Filter is, I think, 1 fluid ounce of product, so there's less in here, and this was a lot more expensive than my Becca one was. Supposed to be a little more, like, smoothing and mattifying, so that's what I'm looking for, so I felt like this would probably be right up my alley, so I'm actually really glad I have this. This is gonna have to stay on my desk, though, because it's, like, I don't know, it's, like, so expensive at this point, it's just, like, I cannot just like throw this in my drawer. So I have been telling myself that I don't need any new lip products, but I went ahead and picked up 2. One I've been wanting to try for a while. It was a little bit more of an impulse purchase because I told myself I really didn't need any of these, but I was still really interested in giving it a try. And it's a lot smaller than I thought. This is the NARS, oh, I threw the packaging away. It's Power Matte Lip Pigment, and it comes in that really nice like NARS packaging. You can see the color right here. This is in the shade Spin Me. Oh no, American Woman. My mistake. This applicator is like super precise and pointy. Interesting. Oh. Okay. She's a little oily. Like, is she supposed to be like that? I figured when it said Power Matte. Oh, it's all over my hand. Can you see that? Can you see all the oil? Look at that. It's just like bleeding everywhere. Ew, no. Why? Why is this happening? So this is disgusting so far, which sucks because it's a really pretty color and I want it to work. It's all over. That's so nasty. What if I swatch it again? Okay, see, so that swatch was better. See, there it is right there. That's a lot better than whatever the bleep this was. Why was that so oily? Just needed to be mixed up a little bit, I guess. I guess that's been on the shelf for a while, so that's good to know. Well, at least glad to know it's not like a complete dud and like we fixed it, but still like, oh, come on. So I have a whole bunch of colors like this. I really didn't need another one, and honestly, now that I'm looking at this, it actually looks like my next one that I'm about to show you. Where'd it go? Where is she? Oh, she's on the ground. Fenty Beauty Stunner Lip Paint in Uncuffed, which actually might be almost the exact same color. And there it is. Dang it. So the packaging on this is like incredibly, it's pretty, but it's huge and very weighted, so it's very luxurious looking, but I actually need to like find a place for this because it's definitely not going to fit in my little drawers right here. I'm gonna mix this one up just for safety. Let's watch it next to it just to see. And they're the exact same color. I suck. He said it, not me. Well, you know, I said I like having multiple colors of the same thing, so. It's just so funny. I bought this same shade. They're like, no guys, they're like the exact same. They're the exact same. They're the same. Just like, that sucks. Well, we started on a bad note and we ended on another one. Just like, seriously. That's okay. I'll probably give one of these a shot and then give one to my mom. I don't know what to do with this disc. Where am I supposed to put this disc? Right there. Done. Wow. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching this haul. It's definitely a lot smaller than my last one was. If you're interested in seeing it, I'll link it down below or put it somewhere on the screen. I still haven't figured out the entirety of how YouTube works. I don't know. I'm an idiot. I'm like the worst millennial that ever walked the earth. I don't know how to do anything. I never update my apps. I'm so behind on like all like the cool things to do. I can't do it. I don't want to. So anyway, those are all the things I got in this sale. Let me know what you got if you picked anything up or if you're going to pick something up. I know their weekends are still going on. Oh, actually, I think it just ended. Okay, they're a little different. This one is a little more like pinky and this one has a little more brown in it, but they're virtually the same. Okay, I should stop trying to defend it. Moving on. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see any reviews on these products. I'm probably going to do a whole big one where I review all of them, and I'll let you guys know how this goes. Oh, my boyfriend's here, so I gotta go. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.